Okay, welcome back. In this section, we're going to be talking about touring homes and making offers. We've gotten to this point now where you can now go out to find or tour homes to see what you prefer. Now that you have a plan and your search is underway, this would be a great time to get out there, tour homes, and make sure that every one of the homes that you find is a great match for your VA loan and your lifestyle. So I will show you how to spot VA friendly properties because it has to match the criteria or requirements of the loan. How to compare homes with these loan standards in mind, and then also guide you to write a competitive offer or competitive offers as the case may be, so that you're buying with confidence and peace of mind. Ideally, you don't need to know all of these things because that's where I come in as your agent, or whichever agent you choose to go to. I would hope that after all of these that you and I become good friends and then you can choose me to be your agent. But it doesn't hurt to have all of this information, be armed with it so that you have an idea of what this process is. That way you feel more confident as you go through this journey. So let's dive in. Touring VA eligible homes. Now you're about to start. You want to go tour these properties. Now, when touring homes with a VA loan, there are a few extra things that I need you to bear in mind, things that you need to look out for. The VA has certain rules. They're called minimum property requirements or MPRs. These rules they exist or are set out to make sure that your new home is safe, structurally, and move-in ready. So that means things like a solid roof, working heat, electricity, clean water, proper sewage systems, and also that there are no hazards, specifically or particularly health hazards, like exposed wiring or peeling lead paint. Those are very harmful to you. It's essential that these things are carefully identified, or we look out for these things just to make sure that none of all of these things are hidden, so you're not blindsided. That's why these rules exist, for your safety. And so I help you evaluate homes quickly as we tour and look out for these things, because typically most people would not consider this. They just look at the aesthetics on the outside, it looks good, and they just want to jump right in. But no, we have to look at all of these details, look at the bones to make sure that you are getting a good value. We also have to make sure that we look out for leakages and make sure that there are no signs of roof or foundation issues that might need work. Is it accessible all year round? No hindrances. It is clean. We make sure it is safe and functional. Now, if a property is not likely to pass any of these, then I help you avoid it so that you don't waste your time and your money. So now you found a house that you like. You've come to the section where you now have to write a strong VA offer. With a VA loan, there are unique ways to craft offers that are both attractive to sellers and fully protect your VA interest at the same time. So what I help you do is help you review sales of similar VA financed homes in the area. These are also called VA comparables, or as real estate agents like to call them, comps. And then the reason we do this is so that your offer is fair and is also likely to appraise. You don't want to offer too much money for something that doesn't cost as much, or offer too little for something, that's basically why that exists. Then we'll talk about earnest money deposit, contingencies, and what makes your financing attractive in today's market. Remember, you're competing with other buyers for that seller's property. And so putting your best foot and strongest foot forward is essential. And that's where I come in so that I can give you a competitive advantage, rather. I beg pardon me for that. If the seller has questions, after we've gone through all of these about the VA process, this is why you have me. I step in and I explain your strengths as a buyer, and I remove any confusion that the seller might have or stigma that some sellers may have as a result of a lack of information on their part about VA loans. That way, like I mentioned earlier, you're putting your best foot forward, strongest foot forward, and so you should ideally get something that you desire, because we check all the boxes. Now, having done all of those things, sometimes even the best looking homes has its issues that come up. But that's why we plan. Like I mentioned from the beginning, this is why we prepare a plan, just so that we are steps ahead. We expect things that could go wrong and we just have plans so that we're not blindsided. So things that could come up, like during the appraisal or after the pest inspections, things come up. But fear not. There's nothing to be worried about. With my experience, I know how to negotiate repairs, credits, price adjustments, and so on and so forth. So your interests are protected and you get the best possible deal. If we hit any snag, roadblock, obstacle, hindrance in negotiations or property standards, I help guide you through the conversation. I help guide the conversation with the seller's agent. Like I said earlier in my video, this is what we do as agents. We have a fiduciary responsibility to you. It just simply means that we are obligated by law to represent you. That's what we're here to do. That's why we went and got the license, to make sure that we have all of this information. You're not blindsided. I'm here to be able to guide you. You're the boss. I'm just trying to make sure that I help you get what you need, which in this case is your dream home. So like I said, if we hit any snag in negotiations or property standards, I help guide the conversation with the seller's agent so that you get what you need and always make your timeline and goals the priority. So here's another mini task for you, like I've often done in the previous chapter and in this chapter. Next time you tour a home, and use my VA tour checklist to spot issues early. It's a free resource. Most of my free resources are in the description below. You find links to all of these free resources. Feel free, download it and use that, whenever you go tour a home next time. Then write down your deal breakers, bring your questions about the offer process or any other real estate questions that you might have. I will help you as much as I possibly can. And it's free of charge also, you don't have to worry about that. I'm here to answer all of your real estate questions, or at least every real estate question related to you buying your first home with a VA loan. And as much as I can also answer for you down the road anyways. Here to help guide you every step of the way. Now, when you're ready to tour, bear in mind, or rather I should say, as I've often said, I will guide you through VA approved listings tailored to your goals, just so that I can make sure that every home you see is the right one for you, the one that you have decided that you would want to live in. It's a real contender. You're competing fairly, if not with an advantage than other people who are putting offers to sellers. So like I've said previously, and I've been saying repeatedly, but it's essential. I want to talk to you. I want to hear from you. So feel free to schedule a call with me, book a call with me. The link is in the description below. And let's talk about your next step so that I can help you make your next home the right one. And so to close this section out, with my support, you can shop smarter, make powerful offers, and negotiate like a pro. You don't have to go figure these things out by yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Make life easy for yourself. That's why I exist. I'm here for you. So in our next session, I will break down what happens during the appraisal process, because now you found what you want, you put an offer in, and now the ball is rolling. We're almost at the end of this. You're almost about to get your key and get into your house. So I'm going to try to break down what happens during the appraisal process, which is what comes next, and inspection. So there are no surprises before closing. I'll see you then.